Welcome to Alberta Football Uncensored. I am your host, Tej Johannesson. With me today is my co-host, Amari Fraser. Before we get going, we have secured a sponsorship. This is a product that I want to talk to, specifically football players about. I've been using this, as everyone knows, and Amari mentions quite a bit. I have a bit of a pharmacy of natural products that I like to take. I'm a very all-natural person. I try to take things to upwire my gut health, my brain health, and I stumbled upon a product probably about a year ago. It was created by a former UFC fighter that was looking to heal his brain injuries that he had, and he created a company. It's called Meraki Medicinal. Meraki is spelled M-E-R-A-K-I. And the product, he has a couple products. Black seed oil is on there, which is a great little product as well. But his main product is called Methylene Blue. Now, some of you might see this stuff. It's starting to kind of go a little bit viral on TikTok. It's a really cool product that essentially can unlock your cellular superpower, your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cells, and kind of keeps us going as athletes. It can fix brain fog, and it helps you give energy in the morning. I take 20 drops of it every morning. You can skyrocket mitochondrial energy, sharpen focus, and crush mental fog, elevate mood and resilience, fuel cognitive longevity, and fight oxidative stress. And it also helps with the gut health. So I've been personally using this for about a year now, a little bit off and on. Is what we'd call a microdose. And we've been lucky enough to become an affiliate with this company, Meraki Medicinal, and we have a discount code for you guys. We're an affiliate, and now we get a 20% kickback on every order that's made, and that's going to go directly to funding this podcast. And so to make this podcast work, we're 3 years in now, which is wild. We're in our third year now, and started this 3 years ago, and it's not cheap. We've spent I've personally spent about $1,500 of my own money to get this podcast going, and so we're looking for ways to kind of subset that. So all your purchases will help this podcast move forward and maybe advance it a little bit as well. And so if you go to Meraki, MERAKI, medicinal.com/TEJ, TEJ, 55555, that's 5 fives. You'll get to my website and you put in that code. It might even put it in there automatically for you, but the code is just TEJ and then 5 fives. And you'll get 15% off your order. It'll give a 20% kickback to the podcast. This is the little bottle right here. If you're looking on, we'll post this on our social media. I'll be talking about this a lot. I don't endorse anything that I don't personally stand by. Health is extremely important to me. I'm 37 years old and I'm still kicking people's ass in the AFL, and I probably will continue to kick people's ass in the AFL. So I must be doing something a little bit right to stay as healthy as I am, and this is one of the things that I really stand by. So if you're interested in trying this, we'll put the link in the show notes as well and on our Instagram, so you can kind of go find that. You get a nice discount code, and you help the podcast along the way, and you'll help your brain health. So go look into this. Go look into the reviews. This particular brand is third-party tested twice. It's 99.9% pure of heavy metals and a lot of other crap that you're going to find. There are a lot of methylene blue products on the market today. Most of them are made in China. That's not what you want. These guys are doing it right, and I stand by it and personally take it every single morning. It's really cool. Put 20 drops, which is 5 milligrams, in a glass of water, and it's the craziest color. It's like this blue color. The only side effect is you will pee blue. So you will literally, like you're taking a vitamin B and your pee becomes like bright yellow, you will actually pee blue, which is kind of a party trick. It's kind of funny. So Meraki Medicinal helps the podcast. MerakiMedicinal.com/TEJ 55555. All right, that's our first promo. That's a new one. We'll kind of, Omari, maybe we'll come up with a constant ad we can just throw on, so I don't have to say that, but we'll figure it out on our end.
Say that sounds kind of fun, to where I guess one of the side effects is the pea blue. So what you're saying is I can be an avatar in pea blue.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. Sometimes I just leave it in the toilet for my wife to find, and I find that quite hilarious. So
question, did you know that side effect going in, or was that like at first you were like, oh no, like what is happening?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was like, I thought I had cancer, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
what? And then I like, I kind of Googled and started doing some research. And, oh yeah, no, totally normal. For me, like, I'm a big, that's Bryce, by the way. Bryce is joining us here on the podcast today. And, for me, I really dive into as much as I can, but I was really excited
yeah,
about this because of the level of purity and the stuff that it said. I had actually read a book on methylene blue before I had tried this, and there wasn't really a good product out there. And then this guy created his company, and it's been awesome. So no, I didn't at first, but now I'm fully aware, and it
yeah,
usually
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
takes like a day. Like if you take it in the morning, you'll notice it the next morning, and it can be
for sure.
actually. It can be actually pretty funny. Omari, how you been? How are things going? What's it looking right now on your side with the Wolfpack? You guys getting some indoor workouts in? I know you just announced today you got a big recruit, King switching teams and coming over to the other side of Calgary. So how you been and how are things going on that end?
Yeah, no, things are going well. Um, and it's been, I guess, a productive time. I like to say. And one thing that I think we've been doing now is we've allowed for guys to introduce some of our new prospects because we're not past that halfway point. We want to introduce them to the guys and the team and everything, and really get them acclimated. Our in-season workouts, I think it's fun seeing other teams get their workouts going because we've been doing our workouts as well, but now it really adds that extra intensity. We're like, hey, Gators are going, Irish are going too. Like, we can't stop now. So still trying to find that nice balance of, being able to still do the workouts and drive attendance, which I think is still going well for us. We're averaging around like 15 guys that have workouts, which I think is a good number because obviously there's guys who have work, have family, all those things, but 15 is a good number to see guys continually build chemistry. And we're always, always, always on the hunt for linemen. I know I've said it before where I think things for us to help compete against the Gators and other teams, like we need linemen. So we're always hunting out for linemen. Bryce, I was teasing you where I was like, I think we're gonna probably talk about this, but I saw when I was watching the Team Canada games, and I saw you on the sideline. I was about to shoot you in text like, hey, send these guys a Wolfpack. You guys got enough at Gators. Because I feel like Bryce was right. I saw Bryce was right in their ear too. And I was like, hey man, I just sneak a little Wolfpack message right in
Yeah,
there
yeah,
for me
yeah.
just to help, send him over. Because I also know Kurt probably sent you with a nice marketing package to
Hey, Omari,
to go over with.
you're cutting out a little bit. Hey, Omari, you're just cutting out a little bit. Losing you there a little bit.
Should be back now.
I got, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
So
worry, I
yeah.
got the gist of it. You want
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
You Wolfpack to Team Canada to the Wolfpack. I got it. I got it.
Yeah,
I'll let
that's what we
Jesse
wanted.
Maddox
That's what we
know.
wanted.
I'll put you in contact with him. You can
Jesse
start with the head coach. You can start with the head coach.
Perfect.
Get it all in. Get those
Perfect.
O linemen. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's so true, right? Like you guys, I don't actually think you guys need O lineman with how fast Daryl throws the football, but I guess he could use a little bit more time to let some guys get open down the field. But that guy doesn't get
55
sacked.
arrow.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. He's got his check down ready to go. With us today is running back from the Calgary Gators, Bryce Harper. We've been, trying to do this for a while, and I'm glad we're able to do this. Bryce is, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for him, is on a beach in San Diego right now watching the sunset. And I'm not sure, Bryce, if you're a golfer, but that just makes me so jealous because I bet the golf courses there are open and raving right now. So, Bryce, happy to have you, man. And
thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, how you been after winning another national championship? Like, how's your off season going? And how you been in general?
Oh, man, it's been quite a whirlwind since then. With coaching at UBC, coaching for Team Canada, then getting these experiences over in Europe, and ended up signing with the team, the Helvetic Mercenaries of the ELF. Just an entire. I mean, it's been like a blur. I mean, I after the national championship, went to was coaching at UBC, then got accepted on with Team Canada, made the decision to coach during those games during the time period. Was in Europe for over a month. Went back, and then we went down to Mexico, and then boom, then I got signed, and then literally it was like back to back to back, and then next thing I know, I'm about to play, professional football. So I'm actually back with my trainer down here in San Diego, Chris Munford. He's actually a former CFL guy, but he's a sports scientist down here. He trains in Carlsbad. I linked up with him right before my very very first season in the AFL. So when I played for Fort Mac. So he trained me the last time. I was like, I'm going to get trained by the best that I know. So came down here, and I'll be down here for 3 months down in sunny San Diego. And then, that's pretty much leads us up until now.
Wicked, man. I mean, that sounds I mean, obviously you're taking this seriously, and you've got a great opportunity ahead of you, and obviously your trainer is going to want to get what's best for you, and you're in a great place. Now, you still didn't answer me. Are you a golfer?
Oh yeah, the golf. I thought I could slide by it. I am not.
Okay.
I get too frustrated. I feel like it's going to be a sport I pick up once I'm done with all my other endeavors and goals, where I can patiently perfect it, because it is probably I would say, the most difficult sport in terms of technical aspect and like the
Yeah.
frustration that you can get. I heard it's incredibly calming though.
You know, well, so it's calming once you get like decent at it.
Yeah.
It can be, so for me, like I didn't golf at all until COVID hit, and then literally that was all we could do. And I was like, well, I'm going to punch massive holes in people's faces if I don't get out of my house and do something. So I might as well go
Right.
And I was terrible. Like I was shooting 100, and it was just, I have no idea what I was doing. But then I just kind of got obsessed with it, and I went to the range every day. And my spring and summer is basically, I'm at the range every day. I really don't miss a day, even in pouring rains. I'm there by myself. No one else is there. I'm hitting balls, and slowly and surely, I've gotten to the point where I couldn't break 100 to now.
Yeah.
If I shoot an 82, it's a bad round. So I've gotten pretty good at it. But it is, you're right. It is one of those sports that nobody's born being a good golfer.
Right.
I could always catch a football. I could always just catch a football, right? I was always, from the time I was little, I could catch. Didn't that, But golf is not like that. Golf is a sport that takes incredible discipline, and that's kind of why I love it. To be honest with you, is like it forces it has a lot of parallels with life in general, right? Like you've got to be patient. Each shot is different. You've got to be able to get through adversity. You've got to be able to recover after bad shots. You've got to be able to mentally come back, and it can test you. But once you kind of get it, and once you get the bug, man, and once you're done your football career, it'll be something you can do for a long time. And we'll definitely have to get out for a round, regardless of how good you are. It's still a great time, man. It really is, and I just absolutely love it. So it's also very expensive, and it will drain your bank.
It is, yeah,
it's totally
for
fine.
sure. Last time I played was Axe's Bachelor, and I ended up just being the golf cart guy. So I was just ripping around on the golf cart everywhere. And eventually we went little too many excursions, and they were like, yeah, you can't drive like that anymore. And I'm like, okay,
yeah, you're just out there trucking people on the golf cart, like, hey,
yeah.
I don't know.
Trying to find the max speed downhill, just all the good stuff.
Exactly. I mean, hey, if you're having fun, you're having fun, and I appreciate that. Talk us through a little bit about your football career, your journey. Like, so you're an American. I assume you grew up playing there. So talk us kind of through your how you got started in football, and then all the way up to what brought you to the AFL.
Perfect. I mean, you guys got me on here because you guys said I love to talk. So here we go.
Yeah, take your time, man. People love to live. You know what I found out about this podcast? You always kind of feel weird when you talk too much, but that's what people want to hear. They're driving in their cars.
Yeah,
so take your time, go through it. People love stories.
Yeah, for sure. Started Division I. Well, if you want to go all the way back, so football is a little different in the States. So about 7, 8 years old, I just had a birthday party. I played a multitude of different sports at that time, did not play football. This head coach of a Pop Warner football team, looked at me, said, hey, come here, son. Came over. It was just at this birthday party. He lifted me up. He's like, yeah, you're about that weight. Yeah, you're going to go play football now. And I was like, Okay. Okay. So that's kind of what started off my football career. And
That's wild.
honestly, yeah. Coach Sam, never forget him.
You got
He,
slightly sexually harassed, and he's like, "Now you're playing
yeah,
football."
but if, back in the day, that wasn't even, I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah. But next thing you know, like, love basketball because of the fast pace, having ADHD, like, that quickness, right? But the thing that also you have with ADHD is like you can generate like that obsession. And that's what like I found out with football that really coincided with me is that every practice, no matter how good I did, there was always something like, oh, I can improve this. Oh, I can improve this. Oh, there's this part of my game. Shoot, like, okay, so I'm a little smaller, so I need to work this, and this. Like there was just always something that you could improve. And I'm not saying that there's not that with other sports, but with football, there's so many things that you can improve. Like
hmm
there's just the amount you can switch positions in the season, right? Like it's you and 11. I really like that team aspect, I think too. It just really called out to me is like it's one of 11, right? So it's a 1/11th of an equation and you got 10 other people in American football to like be together. So
hmm
I was actually super blessed. I think I lost 4 games going into leading into high school from 8 years old to 14.
wow.
We won multiple at that time they didn't have like a top 100 in the country, but they were starting to do those power rankings and stuff like that. We won the Super Bowl multitude of times. I was actually quarterback, despite my height. I was actually a quarterback playing in the wing T, in the whole wing T offense.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then I was
Was this San
linebacker.
Diego? Where did you grow up in San
No,
Diego?
Sacramento.
Oh,
So Elk
Sacramento.
Grove.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elk Grove. So yeah, literally, so the system, it's so different. And that's one thing I wanted to kind of like, I'm very grateful to be able to talk about the past. Like I played the wing T until I was 18, 17. I graduated at 17. So I played in a 4-4 defense and a wing T offense all the way. I played linebacker and I played
Yeah.
running back and quarterback all the way until height dictated my position in high school, right? So
Yeah.
like at high school, they're like, okay, no more quarterback. I can't even see over above my O lineman. So then we started and literally it was each time, each year, you just got a little bit more advanced, a little bit more advanced. And
hmm
me and one of my best friends, Brooke Brooks, we played the same position next to each other all the way until our senior year in high school. So just
Wait.
like
This guy's name was Brooke Brooks.
Brooke Brooks, Brookie. Yeah.
That's
Oh
you
yeah.
guys do it different in Sacramento, man. That's
Oh,
wild.
100%. 100%. And yeah. And we both were like had the same vibe. Like I had the long surfer hair and he had long dreads and that was like our thing. But we played the same position. So he played tail. I actually played fullback, but in the wing T, the fullback gets like 15 to 20 carries a game, sometimes 30, just depending on what happens. But so basically our offense was averaging 437 yards rushing per game, mm,
God.
79 passing. But it was always like 3 touchdowns passing because it would be like a boot and it would be like the receiver finally gets to run a go and it's like wide open because you lull them to sleep. You're running the same thing over and over and over, and then next thing you know, boom, over top. Safety comes down, corners one-on-one by himself, and it's a 40-yard touchdown.
So,
So
did
like,
anyone like want to be a receiver, or like, because that would be such a bore, or did they just become amazing blockers? Did they
okay,
put like O line at receiver? Like that would
we
be, I
put
would
O
hate
line
that.
at our wing position. Like
Oh
Leffy
yeah.
played our wing position, and we'd give him a 45 down reverse, which would be like a counter. And he's just running like full head of speed, 250 pound, like should be playing right tackle and just
Terrifying.
destroying people. Yeah. So luckily, I got to play Division 1. We did really well. I think in high school I lost total of 6 games, including my freshman year. So freshman year we lost 3, didn't lose any JV, lost 1 my junior year, lost a couple more my senior. Yeah, it ended up being like 4 or 5 games
So
lost
when you
in
say
total.
Division 1, how do they rank
It's
the
the
divisions
opposite
out
of
there?
Texas. So Texas is 5A is the toughest. California
Yeah.
Division One's the toughest, so they rank it just
Okay.
like college.
Okay.
So Division One's the highest division. Back then, ranked way differently now. I like it a lot better now. It's actually based off of like strength of schedule and things like that, which is should be. And like but back in the day, it was just based off of population size. So if your school
Right.
had 5,000 students, you're Division One.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's kind of how they did it. But now it's much more of a ranking system, and they use what's called max preps. So max preps is like
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So then ended up getting a scholarship I actually had a scholarship to Missouri Southern. Full ride. Literally, they took me to the dean during my visit. I ran my 40. I ran a 4.61 with the offensive coordinator. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're signing you." Unfortunately, the reason why the scholarship was open was a running back passed away in a car accident, which is
Damn.
just terrible. But they were like, "Okay, we want you." He took me to the dean's office. Literally accepted me in April. Right? You're just like, what? He's like, "Yeah, welcome to Missouri Southern." So like, I was gone. It was like all in the papers. I like don't hear anything from the OC for about a month, and I get a call and he's like, "Hey, I'm like so sorry, but I didn't know that the head coach was away because I never got to meet him." He's like, "He gave that scholarship so they can split it to two in-states because that's the same as an out-of-state tuition." So he split the scholarship with two in-states. Essentially, like, I don't have a spot, right? And I was like,
Right.
"Oh, wow. Okay." So I ended up taking a blind scholarship to a little place called University of Mary in North Dakota, Bismarck.
Okay. Okay.
Not something you'll put on a destination list, to say the least. Long story short, absolutely hated that. It was a great experience in terms of like even the football, like the culture. I just wasn't used to. There's actually some people that are okay, and college is okay with going like 500. Oh, we're going to win a couple
Yeah.
games. We're going to do that. It just wasn't the mentality I was used to. So I ended up transferring. I had a mentor by the name of Ryan Dinwiddie. He actually is the head coach now over at
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah,
Quarterback. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's family friends with me. And he
Okay.
pretty
Okay.
much sent me a message saying, "Bryce, dude, you're 5'7", white. You're not going to play in the NFL. You might as well go get Canadian ball and go play in the CFL." So
Mm-hmm.
he kind of helped me kind of open my eyes to be like, okay, there's another. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, there's another
Yeah.
world. There's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
place. And then, long story short, got recruited by Coach Nil. That's a funny story. They actually thought they were looking up highlights of Bryce Harper, the baseball player, the recruiting coordinator.
Yeah.
Saw that my video was on YouTube, saw that I was pretty good. And then they noticed because I just put that I like am available again, like on my description or whatever. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
available. So then they ended up messaging me. And then Nil did his Nil thing. If anyone knows Coach Nil, he knows how to recruit. And he was just like, next thing I know, he really didn't have to recruit though. At the time, you had Stephen Limbala, you had Anthony Woodson, you had Matt Walter. Like, these were Div 1. Like, these guys would have played Div 1. And I just know that through my experience of what I went through. And like, I'm looking at this. There's Anthony Kuhorn. There's Lyndon Gadosh. Like, they have like a Div 1 FCF style roster here. Like, I was like, oh, why wouldn't I like come here?
Mm-hmm.
And I know other recruiting strategies, recruiting players and stuff have a different mentality now. They want to go to where they're going to play right away. Like, they want to go, oh, I had a very different approach. I was like, I want to play with the best to get the most growth, to learn how to be the best. I didn't feel like my year at college, I learned how to be really good. I didn't know how to be like a good uh, football player, a good weight room athlete. Like Omari probably knows this. Omari, the change that I've done physically from when you first met me is quite a bit. We can
100%.
say that, right? Yeah,
100%.
but it was because I had ability and talent, but that Div 2 college I never knew how to turn that into like off-season training, things like that. Like, really understanding my body, how I can do that. Oh, what he does isn't exactly what I do because my body is way different. than his. You can't
Yeah.
just take a blanket system and think it's going to work for everyone. And it wasn't that I wasn't putting in effort. I was like putting in the wrong effort. I was putting in energy into things that wasn't getting me results. So
Mm-hmm.
I really took a look at that and the culture at Calgary, and I went with it, never looked back. And I got really lucky, got to play with Mercer Timmis. We went to a few Vaniers. Um, got to play in, got to start my last 2 years. I actually, in 2014, I started, but at fullback. We lost a bunch. We lost two of our H-backs, and they were like, they turned to me and they were like, can you play fullback? I was like, yeah, 100%. And they put me down in tight end sets. Coach Barato, Steve Barato, he's a legend. Actually played with the Packers. He was like, "You're the world's smallest tight end now," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." So I was lining up on the line, running tight end sets and stuff. It was great. But Calgary just helped me grow. I felt like I had an amazing career at Calgary. Unfortunately, tore my ACL. That's what kind of set me back to not getting recruited. But it led me on this timeline where I found Coach Mumford. I went to a CFL, NFL combine, did really well, got into BC Lions camp, got cut, met up with Jesse Maddox, and then
Mm-hmm.
won the AFL there. Went to GTA when I was coaching at Guelph the year after. That was a disaster. I don't want to talk ill on any programs or anything. I'll just leave it at that. But then COVID happened, and then I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home." I started my business. I've been building that business for the last 4 years. And then Kurt brought back the Gators. I was just joking around with him. I'm like, "Hey, man, like, would love to come play, yada yada yada." And he was like, "Dude, like, why don't you?" And then the rest is history. Linked up with Kurt, honestly, got there, and it felt like family. And all those guys there, every
Yeah.
single one of them, just an absolute gem. And just kind of revitalized. I thought I was done. And then, I got to do the thing I loved again, revitalized it. And then it gave me the opportunities the last 2 years. Actually played on a broken foot all that first year. In 2024, or was that 2023? No, 2024. First season. Yeah, when the Gators came
Yeah.
back. Broke my foot playing rugby. Didn't even know
Oh,
until about 4 games into the season when I couldn't push off my foot still. And I was like, man, what's going on?
wow.
So got an x-ray and they were like, yeah, I fractured like my midfoot, the top of it. Had no idea.
Oh,
So yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's crazy. So Bo Nix can possibly play this week, is what you're saying? If you could do it, he
I
can do
think,
it, right?
uh, dude, just send him over to Germany real quick. Get that Christian McCaffrey stem cell. He'll be good to go. Uh,
Honestly, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple good points there that I want to touch on. I think you nailed it on the head with the work putting in effort that's wrong effort and working out wrong. And I think so. This annoys me with a lot of like people that make money online selling these kind of like all-encompassing training programs, and then people take them and thinking it's going to be the savior to their athletic career or whatever. It's so important to, like, you're working with like a sports scientist guy right now. I know that's not in everyone's cards; those things can be expensive, but it is important to try to figure out different things that work for you, because it's everybody is built so differently. Like for me, for example, I found that the best workouts for me and my body involve basically all high intensity interval training and super slow weight training. And when I say super slow weight training, I mean like I'm keeping a load on my muscles at all times. So like if I do a chest press, it's like I'm pushing up as slow as I can. So it's a weight that's heavy, and that I end up getting to failure at about 4 or 5 reps. And it's a time under tension training, right? So I'm not, and that for me, and that might not work for everyone, but for me, that's what puts on muscle really quickly and allows me to get my fast twitch muscle fibers. So I think that's a really good point that you made. And then I think I had a question. How many prepaid Visa cards did Jesse Maddox give you to come to Fort Mac?
I'll be honest.
I'm just kidding, Jesse. You didn't pay anybody.
I was not one of those guys. To be honest, I don't know if anyone remembers, but I actually wasn't even. I was starting slot receiver the first 3 games. First game we played huge. When were on Red Deer, I was a slot receiver. I
Yeah.
wasn't even a running back
Yeah.
because he already had
I
his running
remember that.
back.
Yeah.
I came with Kurt Howland. We would drive from Calgary to the games up there. And then third game of the season against Airdrie, uh, the starting running back, unfortunately broke his
Was
arm.
that Melvin?
No,
Was that
it
Melvin
was
Abankwa?
no. He just played. I just saw him. Leo Mantula played for Concordia, I
Oh,
believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leo, yeah. He played
Yeah, yeah,
Cold
yeah.
Lake last year too, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
Leo, love
Yeah, he's
he
played Cold Lake a
amazing.
couple years, yeah.
Yeah, such a good guy. It was so shitty that happened to him. He's such a good team player, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
he broke his arm, and so they moved me over, and then the rest was history that year. And then yeah, came back, been super fortunate. I mean, I just between you guys, the I think that for the Gators, for my squad I think that people don't understand how good that offensive line is. The offensive line I run behind is honestly it's the most amazing O line ever. With a guy, I just want to shout him out, Kyle Smokes. We call him Smokes. He only played high school. He only played at Abe. It wasn't like he's some CFL prospect. He starts on this O line and he busts his ass. You know what he does though? He listens. He listens to Grant, the CFL guys, right? He listens to
Yeah.
Tyshawn, all those guys. It's about like listening and like it's about
Mhm.
embracing and checking the ego at the door of like, you know, who you can be and like how good you can really be. It really all comes down to what you decide to listen to and not listen to, and what you decide to be and not be. Like it's just, I think it's funny when people talk about, their accolades and things like that. And I'm like, you're only as good as the person next to you in football. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
accolade I got. If I can't trust I'm sure you guys have all dealt with that. If I can't trust the person next to me, you don't have any team, and it doesn't matter how good I am in football. I think that's the most
Yeah.
humbling thing about football. You can be the best and and not do well.
Yeah, and I was watching some film from last season to kind of prepare for this podcast, and it was something that became. I mean, it was apparent to me playing against you. And I've talked about this before, but being on the field and like from the corner position, I get to see everything, right? Like I
Right,
see
yeah, yeah.
everything that's happening, and there would be times where I'm like, you'd get the handoff, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's tackled. And then all of a sudden, you appear out of nowhere and squeak through a hole, and now you're running 40 yards downfield, and I'm like, this is fucked. So I've been in all kind of watching you play, and I've said this lots before, and I've used your tape to kind of teach guys of you have a knack to really keep your legs moving through everything. Like it's almost impossible for one guy to bring you down, and it's clear to me, like just listening to you talk here, that you do obviously have a love and a passion for this game, and that attitude of I'm going to continuously get better, even though I know how good I am, I think is rare in these days. I've played with
Yeah, yeah.
guys in my career in the AFL that thought they were so good they didn't show up to practice, thought they were so good they didn't, when we would do wind sprints they wouldn't even try. And to me that always
Yeah, yeah.
annoyed me, because I'm like you in the same way of like, and for me it's always come from, honestly, from a place of I don't ever want to fail. And so
Yeah.
I had a coach tell me at 8 years old that there's always someone that's looking to take your spot. And
Yep.
that has never left my mind. No matter how
Yeah,
good
yeah,
I've
yeah.
gotten, no matter the records I've sent or whatever, I always think someone's coming to take my spot, and I want to keep going. So I
100.
respect that a lot. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I really appreciate the sentiment. Honestly, the most humble thing is someone saying they've used my tape to teach someone. That to me is like the biggest, yeah, like humility. And on top of that, your coach was spot on with that mentality. Coach Nil, and this is just for any young bucks listening to this, every time a coach recruits you, their next year is to out recruit you. That is
Mm-hmm.
their goal.
Mhm.
You have to grow You have to decide to be the best version of yourself. It's not up to the coach. It is actually your responsibility to get better. It is not his. He gives you the tools. You're the one that has to make that decision. So like your coach telling you that is like spot on, because that's how it is almost, at every single level. And yeah, I just it's super humbling. I really appreciate that sentiment. I look at my tape. I'm very critical of myself. Be like,
Yeah.
damn, I could have done this, this, and this. I could have done this. I could have done this better, right? And it's always about that growth mindset and like getting better. And if you can talk to any of the boys on the Gators, feel free. Uh, I am good for I actually love practicing. Like I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a Bryce freak
Mm-hmm.
out happens when someone else isn't doing 100%. I will fucking flip in practice. I will
Mm-hmm.
lose my shit. I know it's probably I should probably not do it, but for me, I try to hold everyone to the same standard because I believe in everyone. I want them to be the best version of themselves. So when when I see everyone going down, that's when I'm like, all right, I got to set the tone somehow. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and
but
you hold
there's been
yourself to that. You hold yourself to that, right? And that's what.
yeah,
And I'll let Amari ask some questions here right after this.
yeah,
But
yeah,
and I have a few more after that. But when you hold yourself to that account, and that's the same. That's the same way I've always been as well. It's like I'm showing up to every practice, except for when I'm playing in Calgary or Airdrie because financially it becomes tough. But with
yeah,
Red
yeah,
Deer,
yeah.
15 years on the team, I'm showing up to every practice, and I expect everyone to do that. And I'm the same way. And like I've had people absolutely hate me on my team because of that. But I'm sorry. I'm not here to play games. Football is not a recreational sport. It drives me nuts when people try to treat the AFL like a beer league. You can die playing this game. So I'm not out here to have fun. And so I appreciate that. And I think you should, because it's not like you're like, oh, well, I don't hold myself to that same account. You do, and you want
Yeah,
others
yeah.
to say it. Omar, you got anything for Bryce?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one question I got for Bryce is, how did you get connected with Kurt? Is I know we were kind of in that same realm where we played a lot of guys like Denzel, Robbie. I guess
I
Ramadan is
I
where you're there.
Yeah, yeah. Kurt trained with us. Kurt came out in 2016 and 2017 and would train with the boys. Like he would train with us during our off season. So he would train with like Robbie and stuff like that. Just come out to the field sessions. Like he would just train with us. And then that's kind of how I got connected to Kurt. When it didn't work out at the camps for the CFL, I actually reached out to Kirk because I knew about the Gators. Actually, funnily enough, I actually almost was a buck. Devin Hand tried to get me so bad, but I
Devin,
looked
yeah.
at your O line, and you just didn't have an O line. I was
Yeah.
like
What year did he try to get you?
18,
2015?
18.
Oh, 18. Man, dude, we had Brandon Lay broke his ribs that year,
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
against Fort Mac, and we won that game, or we're winning that game when he broke his ribs, man. But
That
we
was
had
a
no
crazy
running back,
game.
so
At
that was a
Red Deer
crazy game.
at the Red Deer Park. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
to score.
yeah.
I had to score to win it. You actually took me down on a kick return. I would have broke that, but you took me down.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you for saying that, Bryce. Everyone
yeah.
thinks I can't tackle. No, there's a difference. I can
No.
tackle. I just don't want to.
Do you want the
That's the
honest truth?
difference.
I also
Yeah.
didn't think you were going to tackle me, and then you tackled me. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh shit,
I'm
you got
telling
me.
you, man.
I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
was like, oh, you're welcome. No, you
Yeah.
are a good tackler.
Yeah. I just don't
I
want to. That's all.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
difference. So
that's
I
fair. The
don't enjoy
willingness.
it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But to go back to Omari's question, the connection came through just through training happenstance that we were working out together. He told us. And just to let you know, I had a connection with Jordan Heather because he came out in 2014 to our Calgary Dino spring camp and slung it around a bit when he moved. So I was kind of aware that Jordan was playing for them. And Jordan and I built a good relationship during the spring camp. He was there for like 2 weeks. He was just helping out coaching, but he would throw us balls and stuff like that, right? And so that's kind of where that came about. So my advice to the Wolfpack would be, why don't you see when the Calgary Colts are doing like workouts you guys can attend? Why don't you see when the Dinos are doing that? See what if you can just join in. That's what Kurt did. I don't know if it's the same, but we used to do it, when it was like all the ex CFL guys, the Dinos who are currently playing. That was like a really cool thing that the Dinos used to do, is all the ex Dinos used to come back and train during the off season, and then we would do like throwing workouts with them. So then we would get like one-on-one help from CFL players. So that was like huge.
Was it the like going to like the soccer dome? Because I remember coming to
Yep.
events like that with like Robbie, and
Yeah.
then especially I think when I was coming along, it was the Phil Potts when they were like
Yeah.
19.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
I
Kurt just
remember. I
had
remember
the
that.
yeah, yeah. And Kurt just had the like, he didn't care that he was playing, men's league. Do you know what I mean? Like he just was like, yeah, this is what I do. It was like he wasn't ashamed to say that that's what he was doing. He was playing in the AFL. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't afraid to brand that and be him. That's who I am. He's still competitive. Like, people think, like T just said, beer league. You only create a beer league if you decide to do that, right? It's up to your guys' decision on what the team decides to be. So that would be my advice. Be proud of you're the Wolfpack. Be proud of you're the Irish. Be proud and go represent your brand and see what kid is going to have a missed opportunity. So that would be my advice.
That's good to know because I always wondered on the connection between like how it happened, because I feel like when I was done Colts and you were done Dinos, we kind of because we kind of got into the AFL the same year-ish, and I would have been like, oh, like how like and the Gators actually wrapped up their season, and because I tell myself this because like when I was done I was like, oh, like I knew about Wolfpack, I knew about Gators. I remember seeing Heather and Grant come to the Colts practice and talk about it, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna go check them out after because I wanted to get into my career and still play and everything. And I still
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
it's such a funny timeline or alternate timeline where like, I'm taking if the Gators were around in 17, 18 when they 18. We
18 they
could have been on the
folded.
same team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17
Yeah,
was
yeah,
their
yeah.
last year. Yeah.
17
Yeah.
was their
So that's
last
that
year. Yeah,
2018
yeah, yeah.
season,
Yeah.
call it 2018, different timeline. Could we been on the same team? And that
Right, right, right.
alternate timeline leads to where it is now.
Yeah, yeah. Same with
You never
Tej. I
know.
almost could have been on the Bucks. Yeah,
That would have
it's
been,
just yeah,
man,
yeah.
that I gotta tell you, man, that kind of makes me a little bit sad. That 2018 year, it really breaks my heart. Well, the 2016 year
Axe hurt
breaks my heart
himself
the
too.
most.
Axe hurt himself
Yeah,
too that
so
year. Yeah.
yeah, against Fort Mac, he first game of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
We were up there, and he tore his Achilles, and
Oh yeah.
he tore at the end of the game, and he had like 200 yards receiving in that game,
Oh,
and then he tore
yeah.
his Achilles.
Poor my
Yeah,
boy my boy, my DB, oh, he got roasted on corners, 8 balls all day. It
yeah,
was bad. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is, and like so for me, like 2016, Brandon was Brandon Lay's first year, and fuck, that Bucks team was so stacked. And then that was the year the Fort Mac fires, and we beat them in the regular season, and then we lost to them in the championship game, which sucked. And then
Yeah.
2018, we were beating Fort Mac, and then Brandon broke his ribs, and then we went up to Fort Mac for the finals and lost like 60-0 because Brandon wasn't playing and Axe wasn't playing. And then I actually was just throwing with Brandon just a couple days ago. We went out to the Dome here in Red Deer. We're playing in flag tourney. Foothills Flag is putting on a tournament in
There we
February
go.
in Red Deer. So Brandon Lay's coming out of retirement to play a little 5-on-5 flag action with me, and Xavier's going to be on the team. So me, Xavier, guy named Junior Rivera, a couple
Nice.
guys. I'm still looking for a few recruits. So that should be a lot of fun. And I just love, man, like catching footballs from a quarterback that can throw the ball like that is just the funnest thing
But yeah.
in the world. Like
Oh
it's just
yeah.
it's so fun, and I haven't had that when he's not playing. Daryl, I
Yeah.
played with Daryl, which was good, but the problem with Daryl is I just wish he would run a little bit more complicated of an offense. Like I don't like to just play 22 and 31. I like to move around. I like to be a trips inside receiver. I like to motion. But Daryl's just so like, this is how we're doing. And obviously he's had success, but that's been good. That's a little
I call it Olay's classic. 55 arrows, the classic.
Just like throw some 32 spread. Has Daryl ever run a 32 spread look in his life? Like is that even like?
He will. He'll go 6-pack in quads.
Oh, he'll go 6-pack in quads, and then it's 55.
And but then like I expect it where it's like it's very like what you'd imagine there, but like we'll mix it up. But he's very much like he's at that point, and I'm sure like I think we talked about this, that relatability to like Phillip Rivers, where he's making calls on the line, he sees everything, like he's seen everything, and it's just a matter of him like, hey, you go there, I go there, bang, like it's just doing all that. Like it's so robotic for him just with the calls, which you have to respect, because to get up to that point, it takes a lot of.
He does it so well. And like when I was there with you guys in 2022, like I had a really good season with him throwing the ball. And like I think the nice thing about him is because I couldn't come to practices, like I couldn't drive to Calgary, it's very easy to just show up on game day and run his offense, because like it's like run an 8, run a 5, run a 7, run a short 3, right? So that was fun. But yeah, it's go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I think that's kind of why he keeps it the similar, because you want to get guys in, and like, obviously guys who show to practice will play, and then like it's very easy for him to be like, hey, like all right, everyone who's been at practice, the 1s, the 2s have gone in, okay, the 3s, okay, here we go. All right, you're gonna go 3, 2, 1, stick to your routes, stick to your depth, go from there. Like very plug and play, where I'd imagine for some other teams, like you miss a practice or two, how many practices you practice, and you're like, okay, I need to catch up. And so like that's kind of where Wolfpack, we never had that catch up and just like plug and play and go, which is good for personnel, but maybe simple
I will say this, for simple is sometimes better. It lets your athletes really fly around and make the right decisions. I will say also on the counter is the day that you decide to stop growing is the day that you die. So if he doesn't evolve a little bit, that offense will just get figured out. It's just the way it is. And it no offense, it was evident in the Wolfpack game when you played us. You guys started out doing really well. You drove the field, and then it got figured out. Once it got figured out, there was no adaptation off of it. There was nothing you guys could have changed, right? To do that. And so that's like you got to figure out how to keep the simplicity, but evolve it a bit. And that's how I feel like Wolfpack can improve, is you have to be able to adapt and evolve a little bit, just a tiny bit. I'm not talking huge changes. Yeah, I'm just talking a little bit, like a little injection of something.
Well, and that you're right though, right? Because like it's when you go again, like, so that offense with Daryl doing what he did, because he knows it so well, he's gonna have success. He was able to beat us in the playoffs, and he was able to advance doing that, and he's gonna win games. But when you come across a defense like the Gators, once they figure that out, like now it's like, okay, well, you got nothing to go to, right? It doesn't really matter. There's not a lot of thinking behind it. So I would like to see Daryl kind of. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like throw six plays in where you're kind of moving guys around differently a little bit, and kind of. I've always been a believer. Like when I coach my defense as a defensive coordinator, I don't ever go into a season with a plan of what I'm going to run. I see the athletes I have, and then I build it around the athletes I have. I've never run the same defense ever, because if I have 7 stud linemen, well, I might start running a lot of 5-2-6-1 looks. But if I only have 3 linemen, I'm probably running 3 3s and 3 4s.
Yep.
If I've got 7 stud DBs, I'm going to find a way to get those 7 stud DBs on the field and then adapt the defense to that. So
boys throwing a dime or a nickel in there. Going dime nickel, baby.
100%, man.
3 safeties.
Honestly,
here we go.
Yeah, and I say that because in Sylvan, I've and as the DB coach, I can coach my DBs up a lot better than I can coach my linebackers up, just because I know how to play the position. So I always end up with just stud DBs everywhere. So I end up playing a lot of like 3-3-6. Right?
Okay.
Like just like throwing 6 DBs out there and playing kind of like a version of a man under cover 2, which you see obviously more in American ball, but I run that to the Canadian version, and then I can do some different things off of that. So I think that is kind of a good point. Bryce, are you okay? So let's talk about Europe here. So you're going to play in Europe. When does that start for you? And are you still planning to play in the AFL this year, or does that kind of overlap?
So it's a situation that is going to be fluid. Basically when I go to play in Europe, the Mercenaries, first off, have been phenomenal in the way that they've the professionalism that they've done and how they've kind of told me the season. It's a little turbulent over there right now, full disclosure, with everything. I don't know if you keep up on the stuff, but there's
I do,
two different leagues. Now we got to figure out which one we're fitting into. So once I know that, I'll have a better idea of games, but I'm supposed to be there in April. April, May, June, I believe for certain. And then afterwards, that's where we're trying to figure out what's going on. For right now, I'm going to be with the Gators, and we're going to Germany. And so I'm also, I'm along with that because I will be in Europe. So right now we're focusing on, Schwäbisch Hall and Minden. Those are our, next upcoming opponents for these exhibition games, which is pretty awesome. I actually got to work out in Schwäbisch Hall when I was over in Europe. They were one of the teams that invited me out for a workout and stuff like that. And cool town, definitely like college football vibes, very much college football vibes. But basically, honestly, it's to be determined. In terms of like how much I'm going to actually be able to play in the AFL this year. It all just kind of is based on what happens with all the league stuff. So I'm taking it day by day.
All the AFL defenses are breathing a slight sigh of relief, hoping you don't come back.
was that a Kurt PR answer that he texted you over to say?
Yeah, probably was.
Oh, no.
Make sure you're PR trained,
buddy.
Kurt just wouldn't let me talk about the recruits that are coming in, the offense that we're going to run. No, those. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I dropped Kurt off some of my baked goods one day at his house, and there was a package.
Oh, side note, those are delicious, by the way. Absolutely delicious. Yes, freaking phenomenal. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I dropped him off, and there was a package for you at his door.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This auto renew. This auto renew package kept coming. I forgot to cancel it. It was.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the bane.
I finally did,
dude. Canceling auto renew stuff. Yeah.
Oh, side note, AI called Albert. You can download this thing called Albert. It will let you know with your finances, like subscriptions, everything like that. If you have multiple, what you're using, and will help you cancel them and budget. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Just a little side note
of the podcast as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. But if you want, I can also just chat now that we're on the European subject. I'd love to kind of chat about like what it takes, what you do, things like that. And also just a couple things like for the Mercenaries, why I really connected with them. First and foremost, Europe is a totally different beast. And I just want to be as honest as I can with everyone. Wide receivers and quarterbacks are what they want. That is their main. They really, because they are only allowed 4 imports. Unfortunately, Canadians also count as an import. Okay. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. Yeah. Only 4. Yeah. Each team, only 4.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's impossible, not impossible at other positions. You can definitely do it. But getting to GFL and like ELF and like the top of the top, that's where it gets really tough. Purely because how they view it, and it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. They view it as, okay, if I have a quarterback, I need a receiver to get the ball to, because my quarterback I can't pay him all this money to not produce. if that makes sense. Then on the opposite side, they go, okay, I need someone to rush that quarterback. So I need an American defensive end, and I need an American or an A import corner or safety. Or I can do an outside linebacker, but if I'm playing a 3-4, he's essentially rushing the passer, right? So that is how they break it down. So when you're in these other positions, you're kind of up against the wall to start. So then the biggest thing that I would recommend doing is them seeing me, I think helped a lot. Like I was also went to Prague. I did a workout there for the Prague Panthers. It was a great workout. I actually tried out for the Stuttgart Surge, and that one went really well. They were the ELF champions, but they actually ended up folding. So that workout was great. So they do have tryouts. And I know that it's, fiscally it takes money. I just happened to be over there doing Team Canada, so I got lucky. But that's kind of where I started. And then Euro players, you create your kind of what I really did, I think that set me apart. And I think is I created a playlist of all my years, like on a YouTube playlist. I created a hyperlink. I created a resume, and it also had my coaching experience. And I think one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is they are looking for people who can coach.
Right.
They want to grow their game. The reason they only have 4 imports to a team is because they want their local players to get better. So they're trying to get them to play more and to get exposed and taught by coaches more. One thing that the mercenaries are doing that I'm proud, one of the big reasons I decided that we aligned so well is they're creating a football academy over there. So they're actually creating a whole thing where they're going to pair elite level, like, players like myself. They're going to pair them with kids that are, promising up and coming. And I'm going to get to mentor them throughout, not only with designed camps, and the whole goal is to enrich the football community and get it more exposure. And it's focused on growth and development. It's all about growing the sport, growing the culture, which I really aligned with. That's why I really decided to go with them, was because they not only wanted me for my ability to play football, but also my love for it. That's the biggest thing, is that they saw that how much I love football, and they decided that they want that to be a part of their, organization. So
What's
those
the
are like the
language
biggest things.
barrier?
English.
Like, do
There is
they
German.
speak English?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but for the most part, they speak English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one thing I'll be honest with is, quite frankly, you can't read into, like, I'll get back to you, um, you know, okay, like one word stuff. That's just European. Like, Europeans are naturally not as vibrant as us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so you don't get discouraged by them saying, like, let me get back to you, things like that, right? Just let them do their process. You got to understand too, like, they have thousands upon thousands of players trying to get on their teams. So you need to do what stands out. And you think of it as any sort of job. It's simple. Create your resume, do your list of accolades, the things that you bring to the table, and then hopefully try to link up a time to talk. I think when we spoke, I got to speak with the owner, the investor, and the sports director. It was just so natural, and like I was like, okay, I want to be a part of what they're doing, and they felt the same for me, and that's kind of what led to that. So those are the biggest takeaways, I would say, if guys are trying to get over to Europe. You can't get frustrated at the process. You have to enjoy the process. You have to let it go, and you have to create a system that works for you, even if it's like, oh, every day I'm going to send out 10 10 things, 10 messages to new, teams that I might want to go to, and be okay with 1 year, maybe GFL 2. Then you do really well there, and then you bump up, like things like that. Like, don't be, afraid to just go to the one level, prove yourself, and then jump. So those are the biggest tips, I would say.
They play full on American rules down there.
Full on American rules with NCAA rules. So it's 1 foot in, clock stops every 10 yards, under 2 minutes. Similar, if you guys got to watch Team Canada, it's similar play. with like Mexico and Italy and
Yeah.
Germany. So it's those international rules.
Yeah. On that note, I'm just curious. Omari and I talked about this last podcast. What happened? Like, how did Canada lose to Mexico? Is Mexico like? Are they just like they're a soccer nation? But are they really good at football, or was it a mixture of things? Like, what kind of happened in that?
Yeah. I'll be 100%. This is how I viewed it. This is my personal opinion. Anyone can take it any way they want. This is how I feel. Okay. The LFA is a great spot. Just a side note to everyone. Going to Europe's great, but the LFA has 16 imports that they put on every team. 16
Okay,
American imports. They've done
that's
it
the
the last
Mexican
10.
league. Yeah.
Yes. They've done it the
Okay.
last 10 years. So if you think of exponential growth for American football in Mexico, if you put 16 imports where your whole team in Mexico and all your national teammates are all learning from those players. So now you're growing. Each year they get to play, this brand with these opponents. So they get to learn these things. Then they put in a lot of money. You get paid well. And then they started advancing their coaches. And then it started getting better coaching and things like that. And they grew. The viewership down there is what really creates the wealth, right? So the amount of people with like Telemundo and being able to visually watch every game, it's
So
a
it's
lot.
popular down there.
It's very
Yeah.
popular. And what that
Interesting.
did was that and the import rules, in my opinion, grew the football knowledge to the point that they understood that to go against Canada, all you need is 4 yards and a cloud of dust. They cut the day before, they cut a bunch of their wide receivers, and they added running backs, O linemen, and everything. They knew that with the altitude, the pollution, and the fact that
Mm.
like the style of that Canadian Canada plays, that they were going to be able to just wear us down. And that's exactly what they did. They just wore us down. They played a game of attrition. And when
So
you
they
ball
just basically
control,
they wing teed you, hey, or what?
essentially, oh dude, it was
Yeah.
I form. They ran a rhino package with 7 linemen at one point on their 4th and 1s. And then they would get you sucked into one high with man, and then they would run play action. And that's kind of that was we didn't have enough D linemen to really facilitate being able to rotate with that sort of attrition, right? And just being honest, this is just the honest truth. They got 4 weeks to prepare for us. We came back from Italy, Germany trip, had a week and a half, and we only had 3 practices. So
Right.
yeah, the math,
So it's kind of a mixture of things. Yeah.
yeah. And this
That's
is not to
that's
discredit
why
Mexico. They were executed and they were ready to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm not trying to take anything away from Mexico, though. They earned that win. They played well.
no,
So,
no. But that's interesting to hear. That's an interesting way to game plan the game because really Canada goes over with their set roster, D line wise, LB and everything, O line, and then they can really just personnel wise before the game starts say, hey, we're gonna commit to this personnel, load it with linemen and maybe another fullback or tight end, and then
yeah.
stick to that personnel and they're like, hey, they can't keep up with us. Not to knock the athlete, but just like pure like how can you ask a guy to take a 2-on-1 every single play for duration of the game and then
Yeah.
you
It got to the
so that's a
point
very interesting way to do it.
we were like super close to just putting our extra O linemen and just plugging them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might as well just eat up some double teams and stop the point of attack. But yeah, on that note, I think Jesse did a tremendous job. Also, like, dude, the Team Canada is not funded by anything at all. All that stuff was self-funded. All those guys did was pour their heart into it and their souls. And there's tons of players on that Team Canada roster that should be playing in the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch.
Yeah.
And Chris got to play on that team. Mike O'Connor, stud. Jamil Lyles, stud. The O linemen, stud. The wide receivers are stud. Like every one of them poured their whole heart out to play that game. Like,
Yeah.
and so it sucks that the result, you lose in OT. So
Yeah, you know what? You gotta, no matter what people like to kind of poke fun at Jesse a little bit with his Fort Mac days, but Jesse, man, that guy, he's successful everywhere he goes, man. Like, he went to London, won a championship for a year. Now he's building a juggernaut in Langley. You know,
Yep.
he's got a
Yep.
coaching staff that's just ridiculous, and the guy knows what he's doing when it comes to building programs and building success. And I think it's just phenomenal what he did to even bring that forward and give these guys an opportunity to go and do something that's really like a once in a lifetime opportunity to go play football against other countries. And I mean, what a dream! What a dream! I'm deathly afraid of flying, so it just wasn't. I didn't even go to the trials. But,
Yeah.
but
You were
really,
like,
really neat. No, I'm not.
yeah, dude, man, the flights are crazy. That you got to think of that too.
Yeah.
He also had to reset. We had to reset the roster going from Germany to Italy to Mexico because let's be honest, you can't take all that time off of work. So we had to
Yeah.
reset and find other guys and things like that. That also played into it. You're scrambling for guys. You're trying to keep a system together. We didn't have the same coaches too. I mean, and this isn't making excuses. This is just, the sequence of
Just
events.
facts.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I definitely, I applaud Jesse for what he did and how he handled it. He's a great coach and he's going to continue to build winning programs.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I'm looking forward to see what he does in Langley. Omari, before we wrap up, you got anything last for Bryce?
Yeah, just to touch on that with Bryce and Team Canada, how Jesse's running it, like, it was definitely just so I think everyone knows, like, we love watching the game and everything. Like, I always think it's always a blast to see players who are high level players in Canada continue to play and like come out of the work and play. Because I find, like, Bryce, this would be a good question for you. Like, a lot of those guys came out and played, and I know this is kind of where I find, like, to be an athlete in Canada, I know it's tough because we don't get the support, we don't get the funding, the opportunity, and all that. And very few select get to go to CFL, in our case of football. But then when it comes
Yeah.
to the case of like, hey, like, you get to still play football in this men's league, I know a lot of guys will just, maybe call it turn their nose at it, or like, I don't want to do that, or I don't put the risk up or anything. But I find, like, is there still that love of the game? But I find they only attribute true success to professional, high level, you know, places to compete. You know, Bryce, from what you've seen and being around guys like that who should be in the CFL but aren't going to get their shot or aren't going to get that call, what would you say to them to bring them out to leagues like ours, like AFL, NFC, Power Five, just to say, hey, like, still come play the game of football that you have obviously a passion for and a love of the game for?
My thing would be you write your own story. You want your story to end that you decided that you quit football. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Once again, you decided that you're going to quit on getting cut. Why don't you just write your own story at the end of the day? Why don't you get an opportunity to do the sport that you love? Love of the game, man. Michael Jordan, I read this the other day. Michael Jordan had a thing in his clause in his contract saying it was called love of the game. Anytime he could go out anywhere, if he saw like a 5-on-5 group going, some side basketball, he was allowed to go play. You know how awesome that is? That's true love of the game. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about becoming Michael Jordan. It's about becoming, Amari Frazier. It's about becoming Johannesson, Bryce Harper. It's about becoming that person. So, like, do you really? That's how I feel. That's why I play. I play because I just absolutely love it. And I'm going to write my own story. And I'm not going to let someone, take that decision away from me based on their opinion in a league that, I'll be honest, I'm going to fire shots at the CFL. They don't know how to analyze players at all whatsoever. They are cheaply ran, cheaply funded. And until they get their shit together, they're just going to be a laughing stock. It's just the way it is. So, and it's unfair to other players. Because you're going to take a D1 American who doesn't understand the game at all just because his name is this and he did this. That's the experience I have with it. That's what I had to go against. And at least I had a GM that was willing to tell me those things. Like, hey, if I sign you and I don't sign him, my tenure in the CFL is limited and all based off of your success. So I would say like just I would go from it from a standpoint of like, do you really want someone else to write your story? Or I'm giving you an opportunity to write your story. That's the power that I would use with that. Like you have the power to decide who you want to be. And the AFL, regardless of if you want to call it a beer league or not, if you got 5 guys like that, Omari, on the Wolfpack, if the Irish, like you see what the Irish are trying to do, and it's like if you get more of that, the league's gonna be better. It's gonna be better, and then it's gonna be more renowned. There will be it's hilarious because there will be more sponsorship opportunities. There'll be more funding. There'll be more.
Yeah, that's huge. I gotta roll, so I'm gonna hop off early. So I'll let you guys finish up the episode here. Bryce, always a pleasure. We're gonna always looking to chat to tweet chat next time. And DJ, I'll let you wrap it up here. I do gotta go into my next meeting here, but it was a good chat with you both and everything.
Yeah, I got to wrap it up too. My baby's concerned. So hey, Bryce, see Omari. Omari did. Omari, what is it? I think it's speedo at the golf course. That's the punishment. Not the I don't know if he's into that, but the golf course might be mad. But
I know, but boss is coming for you. I have you know what.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Hey up, Omari.
We'll dive into it. Okay. All right. I gotta go. I'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. All right. Well, Bryce, I appreciate having you on, man. You're a fantastic interview. We'll definitely do this again soon. It's a pleasure talking to you and talking football. I love talking football to people that love football. So I appreciate this. We'll definitely have you on again and enjoy that San Diego weather, man. Yeah. Well, let's discuss that. We'll talk over message because I think that's a great idea. We do kind of want to do more stuff with X's and O's and kind of teaching stuff on the podcast and speaking about the league because we both love the league a lot and it's missing a lot. There's so much room for growth. Like when you tell me that Mexican leagues are getting TV deals and it's super popular, why can't the Alberta Football League be like that? It's just, especially because I agree with you, man. I don't even watch the CFL anymore. I don't watch the CFL anymore. Yeah, I was just saying, like, we can make this league way greater. Yeah, dad duty. I love it though. It's good. Okay, brother. Take care. We'll talk soon.